manager didn't put them away correctly last year. Oh yeah, I was the stage manager last year. Never mind. The moths are there on purpose to keep out the rats. I sure hope this is from that one production we did of Hamlet. Either that, or we finally know what happened to the one actor who never showed up at rehearsal.
Snowflake to ever fall upon the village of little molding him on cheese.
Well, I'm the most perfect snowflake ever to fall upon Elizabethan England.
I am the most perfect snowflake to ever fall upon England since William the Conqueror did his conquering thing.
Well, I'm the most perfect snowflake ever to fall upon England since there ever was an England.
I am the most perfect snowflake to ever fall upon England since there was such a thing as snow. So there.
Ha! Well, I'm the most perfect snowflake ever to fall upon. Wait, you can't wear that.
Why not? Last year I had to be a tree. All they do is stand like this throughout the entire show. At least if I'm a snowflake, I get to move around some. Like this, see? I get to flutter down out of the sky and fall down upon the ground. I might even get to do a dramatic death scene when I melt. Something like this. Oh, I'm melting! I'm melting! Oh, that is too solid flesh would melt and resolve itself into a dew. Shakespeare wrote that, you know, in Hamlet. The director said if I kept acting the way I did, someday I'd get to play the part of York. I don't know which part York is, but it must be a pretty big part. Not as big as Hamlet, or else the play would be called York, but still big enough to have an actual name and not just third tree from the left. Or was it third tree from the right? I never can remember. I always get confused by that stage left, stage right thing.
You fell asleep.
Well, it's hard being a peasant all day and then an actor all night.
On stage.
Well, it's not as if there's any space backstage.
During a show.
Well, it's not as if I missed any lines.
If only you had missed something else.
I don't think that was my fault exactly. It's hard to see in that tree costume. All those leaves are in my eyes, so when I turned around, I accidentally bumped up against one little thing.
It was a candlestick holder.
I thought I recovered nicely. I don't think anybody really noticed.
You set your costume on fire.
I just thought it was unusually warm for that time of year.
You flamed up like a Yule log.
See? I stayed in character.
If only you had stayed put until we could dose you with a bucket of water.
You mean this bucket? You know that's not real water, right?
Well, you could have done the old stop, drop, and roll.
It's not my fault we live in an age without automatic sprinkler systems.
You set the theater on fire.
No, I didn't.
Well, you flamed up like a log, and you just had to stay put. But instead, you had to fling yourself right in front of the major scene.
They shouldn't have had all that flammable material around on stage anyway. I'm pretty sure that's a fire code violation. Not that they have fire codes in the 1600s.
Those flammable materials you speak of were sheep. live sheep.
I never knew she could run that fast. Roast is coming right up.
You set the theater on fire.
Technically speaking, I think the sheep did. They're really the ones you should blame, not me.
All because of third tree from the left.
Well, it's not my fault we're still using open flame to light the stage. Maybe someday there'll be a proper lighting system that doesn't involve candles. Maybe someday people won't get so excited when you yell fire in a crowded theater. Maybe someday I'll get to play the part of York.
This is Yorick. And it wasn't exactly a crowded theater. Not after opening night's review. What was it the theater critics said now?
You don't have to remind me.
No, I insist. I think he said something to the effect of the major scene was practically unrealistic, especially those costumes for the camels.
I'm not the one who thought we could get away with pillowcases tied onto the back of a mule.
But the decision to use a live goat was a bold but ultimately unsuccessful directorial decision.
That wasn't a goat. That was Bartholomew. He just likes to chew on things.
But the entire production was immeasurably marred by the third tree from the left, who spent the entire show acting out what can only be described in a polite way, an interpretive dance that brought to a chicken with its head cut off. If only the actor's head was actually separated from their body, would have been much more improved.
Well, I had headlights, okay? They itch.
So you ruined opening night. Then on second night, you set the theater on fire. Good thing there wasn't a third night, because you either burned down the whole town or infected us with parasites.
Next time we have a theater critic in the house on opening night, I'll make sure to burn down the theater then. Maybe he'll get trampled in the melee. How is Lord Mayor, by the way? Did he ever fully recover? He promised to have my portrait done.
He promised to have you drawn and quartered.
Oh, that kind of drawn. So what does the quarter part mean?
How about you stand over there and be the third tree from the left again? And try not to burn down anything this time.
I don't want to be a tree this year. I want to be a snowflake.
But I want to be a snowflake.
And what's so special about you that you get to be a snowflake?
Well, for starters, I didn't burn down the theater last year.
One little mistake and they never let you forget about it.
Unlike your lines.
I didn't forget my lines.
Oh, really now?
Oh, right. The year before that. That big scene where well, you know.
We all know.
I thought the improvised song and dance routine I came up with was quite the showstopper.
Oh, it definitely stopped the show. Just like you could say last year's was a real barn burner.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own. Pretty cutting edge, I thought. Especially since ragtime hasn't even been invented. Or the telephone either. Granted, maybe not your most conventional choice for a Christmas pageant, but still beats a medley of Gregorian chants, right? Right? Guess that's how I wound up third tree from the left.
You're lucky you didn't wind up as firewood. But we've been better off if you had.
I guess I'm not making a great case for why I should be promoted to snowflake this year, am I?
No, you're not.
Why can't we both be snowflakes? We have two costumes and they match.
Well, no two snowflakes are the same.
But these two are, see?
What are you two doing?
We're apparently comparing snowflakes.
Snowflakes?
Yeah, you know, that white stuff that comes down out of the sky, piles into snowdrifts, occasionally turns into a blizzard.
I know what a snowflake is.
Don't you think I'd make a great one?
Quite possibly, except for one thing.
What? Not that thing about burning down the feeder again, is it?
That's not a snowflake.
Of course it's a snowflake. It's got the pointy things here, and over here, and up here.
Those are stage curtains that mice got into. That's not to say they can't be snowflake costumes.
Soap! I need soap!
These are totally snowflake costumes.
I smell something. I smelled cheddar. Maybe provolone. Maybe some brie. I would love some brie. No cheese. Just mice.
All right, people. Everybody gather around. Hurry up. Chop, chop. We don't have all day. Come on. Come on. Step to it. We're burning daylight. Okay, maybe not the best choice of words, considering what happened last year. Hello? Is anybody listening to me? How do they expect me to work under these kind of conditions?
Free food! Free food!
I have vegan options. I hope there are vegan options.
I've got a family of 14 starving children at home, and if I don't get anything to take home, I'm gonna have to turn to highway robbery or other dishonest professions, like politics.
What are you talking about? You don't have any children at home to feed.
This is your first show, isn't it? You're so cute. Out of my way! Out of my way! If I don't get enough to eat, I can't be responsible for any of my actions.
You know the only reason they feed us backstage is because it keeps us too busy to organize ourselves into a peasants' uprising that would bring down the entire medieval class system we're still laboring under. All this food is just another trick by the ruling class to subjugate the peasants at their will.
Is that really true?
Oh yes, if you eat their food, you're simply collaborating with your own oppressors.
I never thought about it that way.
Good! If it makes you feel better, I'd be happy to take all yours.
Hey, where's the free food?
Later. The director wants to say something first.
Oh man, tricked again.
See? What did I tell you? It's all just another trick.
The old bait and switch.
I hear cheese makes pretty good bait. Not like I know anything about mice, but I know everything about cheese.
Thank you. So, I've called you here today to talk about this year's Christmas pageant. As you know, What are you two wearing? They're snowflakes. You don't look like snowflakes. You look like you're wearing a bunch of moth-eaten, mice-infested stage curtains.
But you said,
They look like snowflakes to me, you know, suspension of disbelief and all that.
The last time we tried to suspend something, the stagehand holding up the Christmas star accidentally dropped the thing right onto the audience and knocked the entire front row unconscious. What was the name of the fool who did that?
actually, as I recall, they fallen asleep during the first act. So I don't really think you can say they were knocked unconscious.
You!
Some of them were snoring so loudly the actors missed their cues.
I thought I told you I never wanted to see you anywhere near this Christmas pageant ever again.
That's why I'm over here in the corner. Or is it still too close?
Everything on this side of the English Channel is too close as far as I'm concerned.
And yet, you still cast her last year anyway.
We were running short of trees. What can I say?
Maybe if we made the star out of something lighter than those iron rods we used. Though I must say, it did make quite the impression when it fell. Mostly on people's heads. If they were all wearing hats, I don't think you'd be able to tell at all.
Edith, you have brought nothing to this pageant but trouble and chaos since the very beginning.
That's not so. One year I brought snacks for everyone before the show.
See? What did I tell you? Now they've even indoctrinated some of the peasants to carry out their evil schemes for them.
I thought some food would help lift people's spirits before the show. Nothing like a piping, hot bowl of gruel to warm the belly and loosen out the vocal cords. Oh, right. That was the year of the food poisoning incident. But that's purely circumstantial evidence. I left that gruel sitting out for at least a week to make sure it was fresh.
How is it that you keep finding a way to worm your way into this show?
Not the word I would have chosen.
I'll deal with you later. So, do we have everybody? Anne, Thomas, Stephen, Olivia, Emma, not you, Toby, and Bartholomew. All right, good. So I want to talk to you about this year's Christmas pageant in wake of the problems we had last year.
Oh, you mean the fire? Yeah, that was awesome. Whoosh, the sheep. I thought it was all part of the show until everybody started peeking out, and that was just the actors.
So the good news is that despite last year's incident, the town has once again agreed to allow our troupe to perform a Christmas pageant in the town square.
I can't believe they're letting us do that.
Are you kidding? They'll come from miles to see us now. They're all hoping for a repeat.
So that's why the town passed an admissions tax.
Ka-ching! Although, that's more of a sound of the cash register. And there are no cash registers in rural England in the 1600s. So, what do I know?
I know we were promised food.
So, the bad news is, we lost almost all of our costumes.
Except for snowflakes or moth-eaten, mice-infested curtains, whichever.
We also lost almost all of our props.
We still have a skull. We can do Hamlet. All right, I'll admit, not your traditional Christmas fair. But we could just change a few lines and make it work. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Such as a bad review from a theater critic who wouldn't know the difference between a dramatic pause and an actor who just forgot their lines. Or to take once again to the stage to perform our favorite show. To die, to sleep no more. Unlike those people who were nodding off in the opening scene. To sleep, perchance a dream. Aye, there's the rub. For we are but poor actors out in the provinces. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more.
An hour? I wish I had an hour on stage. Last year I only had one line.
But soft, what light through yonder window break?
I think that light's probably with fire because I know some people backstage had to break a window to get out.
It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Or possibly the Christmas star.
Wow, just wow.
You like that? It's my own interpretation.
You just managed to conflate Hamlet and Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet into a single play.
It's a talent.
You know what I call it?
Riveting. Spellbinding. Must-see theater?
is it? We all remember our lines from last year, right? Oh, right.
I remember my lines! Oh, wait. I didn't have any.
But I have a plan.
When the director says she has a plan, you do not need to worry.
Oh, good. I was really afraid there for a moment.
That is when you should go into a full-scale freakout like this. We're doomed! We're doomed! We're all doomed!
Are you quite finished?
Sure, carry on. Not like it'll matter anyway. After all, we're all doomed.
On the contrary, we will be in even better shape than we were before.
And unicorns will fly through the skies.
That's absurd. Unicorns don't fly. You're thinking of Pegasus.
I have certain connections, shall we say, in London. And I have made arrangements with a certain well-known playwright to write a script just for us. Now, I'm not at liberty to say his name,
He's just being dramatic.
but his initials are William Shakespeare.
You've hired William Shakespeare to write us a Christmas play?
Well, I won't exactly say hired.
Oh.
It's more of an understanding, if you will.
Or a misunderstanding.
Sort of a gentleman's agreement.
There was no agreement.
Kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge situation.
There was no winking nor nudging.
Fine. I wrote him a fan letter, and he hasn't said no. How else would you interpret that?
I'm just a stage manager. I only deal with the real world.
I'm sure he's putting the finishing touches on it right now.
Oh, I can see it now. Richard III redone as a Christmas play. Now is the summer of our discontent made glorious winter. Or Midsummer's Night's Dream becomes Midwinter's Night's Dream. The fairy puck gets transformed into a hockey puck.
It gets cold at night in winter. Better set it by day.
Oh, wait. I know. Henry V.
Oh, Vermouth of fire.
Very funny.
Actually, Henry V is a drama.
I don't care what we do, as long as there's free food. That would be 12th night. If music be the food of love, play on. Strike up the band. Let's all sing. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It was more like seeing the blazing mule behind us when we all got out. Well, didn't we all get out?
Sometimes I wish some of us hadn't.
Hortense.
I'm right here. There's no need to shout. But you do project very well. So yes, do go ahead and shout.
I've got a letter from you from London.
A letter for me from London? I wonder who that could be. Oh, it must be from you know who.
The royal executioner, maybe? With a warrant for a certain local arsonist named Eden?
Oh, look! There's his initials right there on the return address. I've done it. I've done it. I've got a letter from William Shakespeare. I just know he's going to say yes. I just know it. How could he possibly tell us no?
Quite easily, I suspect.
We're going to have a Christmas play done by Shakespeare. A world premiere of a Christmas play done by Shakespeare. I can feel it in my bones.
If that's what you're feeling in your bones, then I would recommend maybe seeing a doctor.
Oh, I'm too excited to read this. Here, you read it.
Me?
Completely unrealistic. The literacy rate in Elizabethan England is 5% for women, 15% for men. You can't hand a letter to a random peasant and expect him to read it.
Hey, I'm not a random peasant.
You look pretty random to me.
Random Roger then. Kinda has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Yep.
It's how the aristocracy keeps us down. What's the point of publishing a revolutionary manifesto if nobody can read it?
Go on, what's it say? Read it to everybody. Oh, this is history in the making.
Alright.
Remember, use your diaphragm.
My dear Hortense,
See, my dear, I'm a dear too.
I am in receipt of your recent communications where you inquired whether I would be receptive to writing a Christmas play for the poor players, a little Moldingham on cheese.
Oh, that's us. That's us. We're definitely poor players.
I wonder how he means poor.
I refer you to the words of Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 3, line 87.
Oh, Hamlet. Hamlet's one of the big ones. Oh, Hamlet's one of my favorite ones. I wonder why he never wrote a sequel to Hamlet.
Probably because everyone dies in the end.
Way to spoil the ending there.
In closing, I am your humble servant, W. Shakespeare.
Did you hear that? Our humble servant. He's our humble servant.
Ever met a servant who wasn't humble? All the servants that I knew who weren't humble end up on the executioner's block.
P.S. Enclosed, please find a glossy 8x10 that I have personally autographed, suitable for framing.
A glossy 8x10? I have no idea what that means. But it sounds impressive. Doesn't that sound impressive?
Does anyone happen to have the collected works of Shakespeare lying around? We're peasants in the early 1600s. Of course we just have the collected works of Shakespeare just laying around.
You mean this big heavy doorstop thing? Yeah, sure.
Act 3,
Go on, what's it say? What's it say? Oh, I can't wait. Shakespeare is going to write us a Christmas play. What's it say?
No.
I wonder if it will have a sword fight. I like the ones with sword fights. A sword fight might not seem very Christmassy, but I bet Shakespeare could make it work. What do you mean, no?
I mean, that's the line. No.
No what? There's gotta be more to it than just that. Like, I know this will be a box office smash, or I know this will be the biggest thing since Henry VI, parts 1, 2, and 3. You know, I don't see why he wrote that so many times. The last few kind of dragged, if you ask me.
I mean, no, as By line 87, he says no.
Hamlet always did take a long time to make up his mind.
So I wonder who Shakespeare's thinking about killing.
Oh. So, what are we gonna do now?
I don't care what we do now. Is there any free food?
At least he didn't say Richard III, Act 1, Scene 2, line 332.
What's that say?
Out of my sight! Thou dost infect mine eyes.
Oh, one other thing.
What's that? Maybe he referred us to Christopher Marlowe? I'd settle for a play by Christopher Marlowe.
Marlowe's dead.
Well, one of those other big name women playwrights then. Not that I can name any. Is that what you meant by one other thing?
No. There's a royal messenger on the way.
A royal messenger. But what would a royal messenger want with us here at Little Moldingham-on-Cheese?
Probably just a fancy word for tax collector.
Tax collector? Uh-oh, excuse me, I'll be right back, like, maybe in a couple of years. Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh?
I mean, you'll see.
You'll see what?
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. I am the Royal Herald. Is your name really Harold, or did it just work that way? Because if it worked that way, that means I will be the Royal Bartholomew. Hey, let me watch it there. Gather around to hear a royal proclamation. Not that much around. Space yourselves out some. A little more still. Come on, you can't really be that friendly, can you? 6 feet apart, in all directions.
Hey, easy with that, mister. I like this guy.
Hey, you want to stage manage your next show? I think you have a real talent for crowding people.
Nice costume. I think I like that better than being a snowflake. Mind if
I guess you do.
All right. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. A royal decree for the people of insert name of town here. Oh, right. I mess that up every time. What's the name of this place?
Little Moldingham-on-Cheese.
Right. Moldy ham on cheese.
No, not moldy ham on cheese. Moldingham-on-Cheese. You need proper enunciation. On the other hand, I don't suppose it really matters. You just go on and read your proclamation thing.
As I was saying, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. A royal decree for the people of Little Moldy Ham on Cheese. Where is the plague now running rampant through the kingdom?
A plague? There's a plague?
Plague, pestilence, pandemic.
Nobody told me there was a plague.
Also commonly known as contagion, infection, the sickness.
Why do you think we're all wearing masks?
These things? I just thought they were the latest fashion from London. You know, like the codpiece for the face?
The gripe, the bug,
I found a
the
bug.
crud.
I found a bug in my soup once, but he didn't seem to mind. He was just swimming around, happy you could be.
The outbreak, the eruption, the scourge.
Okay, I got it.
I think that's what we're all afraid of.
I tried wearing a codpiece once, but it was certainly an ordeal. Of course, it was an actual codfish.
The indisposition, the infirmity, the disorder.
Can you hurry up? Someone promised us free food.
The transmission. The miasma.
I think he's slowing down. He only had 2 there.
The affliction. The vexation. The ordeal.
Guess not.
This is definitely an ordeal to listen to.
The syndrome. The condition. The toxoid.
At least we get to learn some new words.
I'm not sure I want to know some of these words.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked a fishmonger for some fashion advice.
In summary,
Oh, thank goodness.
all forms of the baleful ailment, condition, or disease that is now running its course across the land.
All right, guess we got that wrapped up.
I think he's just getting started, actually.
Including, but not limited to, all associated maladies, complaints, and fevers.
I have a complaint. Oh, it's not like a sickness or anything. It's just a complaint. You see, my neighbor's roosters always wake me up in the morning when they crow. And we passed a city ordinance making it illegal for them to crow. I need my beauty sleep. Or maybe I'll learn to live with it.
Therefore, it has been so decreed, ordered, ordained,
Here we go again.
declared, announced, proclaimed.
Do we need to write any of these down? Is there going to be a test or something?
That all subjects are hereby commanded, directed, required, etc., so forth and so on.
Oof, I don't think I could take much more of that.
To keep a distance of at least 6 feet from one another.
I don't have a problem with people staying 6 feet from me.
That's because you live in a barn.
Technically, it's a pigsty.
Accordingly, all revels, plays, pageants, and other entertainments are hereby canceled until further notice. Signed? Well, never mind. You know who signed it.
Cancel. Did you say cancel?
Canceled. Scrubbed. Scrapped. Shall I go on?
No!
Good. My throat's getting a little scratchy. You have no idea how hard it is to say the same thing over and over and over and over and maybe I'll just stop there.
But you can't cancel our Christmas pageant.
I think he just did.
Hey, I'm just the messenger here.
So was I, and they didn't like what I had to say either.
Not that there was much left to cancel, considering we don't have any scripts or any costumes.
Hey, snowflake.
Yeah, snowflakes.
Like I said.
But what are we going to do without our Christmas pageant?
Don't know. Not my problem.
We've always had a Christmas pageant. The people look forward to it all year long.
Maybe not the Lord Mayor after he kind of got trampled last year.
So, what do you say though? Call it a day? I'm gonna head down to the local tavern and knock back a few.
Hot tea with lemon would be better for your throat.
I'm not talking about drinking. I'm talking about the locals. Always think they're so tough. What'll impress the new guy from London? I'll show you. Bam! Right in the kitchen. Come on, dog. Let's go.
Sorry, folks. You heard him. May as well go back to your tedious, meaningless lives. You have nothing left to live for.
Maybe if the pageant were that dramatic, more people would come to see it.
So, where do I file my expense reports? I did run up some expenses on the way to London that, you know.
Does this mean I won't get to be a snowflake? Because I really wanted to be a snowflake.
Does this mean we won't have any live animals on stage again? Because People totally loved it when the sheep kind of got on fire.
Does this mean there won't be any Christmas this year? Because if we don't have a Christmas pageant, I don't even know it's Christmas.
Does this mean there won't be any food backstage? Because I'm all about free food.
Wait,
There's gonna be free food after all?
Or you. Him, or whoever it is under that hill. Plague Doctor, come here.
It's up to you, Doc. You can go if you want. I'm gonna go hit the hay. And anyone who gets in my way.
What are you doing? See, the pageant's lost, abolished, eliminated.
Now she's as bad as the Herald.
Oh, woe is me, woe is woe. My life's work down the drain.
What is she talking about? She works at a bear pit for the rest of the year.
Maybe if you worked with angry bears all year, then our little Christmas pageant might seem pretty good after all.
Got a point there. But not a sharpens a point.
Ruined. I'm ruined.
Not as much as me. I was counting on something to eat here.
If you let me know, I could have brought you back something from London. Of course, I would have eaten some of it on the way. Wait, hold on. Actually, here for an apple? I found it lying in the streets near London near the horse stables, so it's probably still good.
Sure, why not? Well, that looks like that's all I'm gonna get around here.
So, Doc, may I call you Doc? Your Herald said we had to stay 6 feet apart, right? Okay. But he also said all entertainments were canceled. So, let's just suppose, for the sake of supposing, that we can hold a Christmas pageant with everyone 6 feet apart.
That doesn't sound very entertaining.
Exactly. So if it's not entertaining, then it can't classify as entertainment, correct?
I'm really confused. But I'm confused about most things. But those flaming sheep. I got a lot of great ideas about them though.
So, we can hold our Christmas pageant after all. It just won't be a Christmas pageant.
I'm definitely confused.
Therefore, we can hold our pageant. It just won't be a pageant.
I'm really confused.
I'm not.
See? Problem solved.
I think Jack here just found us a loophole. In another era, he could have been a lawyer, or even worse, a lobbyist.
Thanks, Doc. You've been a big help. You know, maybe we can even find a part for you. You know, the strong, silent type. Or at least the silent type. You don't happen to have any hidden talents, I suppose? You know, like tap dance, something like that? Alright, guess not. Alright, people, there you have it. The pageant's back on.
Yay!
As long as we say 6 feet apart. The plague doctor says so. Or at least doesn't say so.
You're forgetting one thing.
Sometimes I forget my own name.
We don't have any scripts. Remember?
Yeah, the fire.
Whoosh, the sheep.
And all our scripts. We don't have anything to perform.
I can maybe do some card tricks.
You cheat at card tricks.
That's the trick.
Not so fast, Doc. We're not done with you yet.
If only Shakespeare hadn't let me down.
You know, maybe he hasn't.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm not going back to ask him a second time unless I get my expenses up front.
Edith.
Me? What did I do?
More like, what didn't you do?
Why are you even still here? Didn't I tell you I didn't ever want to see you again?
I think that was pretty much everybody here.
Yep.
I've been trying to hide in the back.
No more hiding.
Yeah, no more hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't for you, we could be snowflakes right now. Well, that and the plague.
You know Shakespeare, right?
Well, not personally.
Apparently our director doesn't either.
Okay.
But you've got a copy of his plays.
Right here, why?
Let me see that. The complete works of William Shakespeare. So far, perfect.
What are you doing? You ruined it!
On the contrary, just put them back together in a different order, and presto, a brand new work of Shakespeare. A Christmas play is probably in there somewhere.
That doesn't make any sense. Shakespeare hasn't written any Christmas plays.
Not in their present order. But if Edith here rearranges them into a new order, maybe Shakespeare has written us a Christmas play and didn't realize it.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard. Except for us not letting Edith out of town after what happened last year, but like...
Those sheep sure ran out of town. Fire in a hole! Fire in a hole! Or was that when they fell into the cellar under the armory?
The armory full of gunpowder.
Kaboom!
Here we thought it was snow falling down when it was really just wool.
That was the best Christmas pageant ever. Although having the theater being burnt down and all that.
So, what do you say?
This might just work.
See? Wait, you're kidding, right? I was just kidding. You know,
No, I've got this. Here. You say this. This one's for you. And you. You say this.
Wait a minute, I'm the stage manager. I don't have any lines.
You do now. Here, you say this.
Can I still be a snowflake?
Yes, you can still be a snowflake.
All right, I'm a snowflake.
What about me?
Yep, you can still be a snowflake.
All right, I'm in.
What about me?
No, you can't be a snowflake,
Well,
but you can be this.
What is this?
What does this mean?
All right, this one's for you, and this one's for you. All right, we're fully cast.
Looks like that's not the only thing that's full.
What do you mean?
Looks like we've got a full house, too.
Where did all these people come from?
Nobody told me to put down the signs from last year, so they kind of been up all year. December 18th. Town Christmas pageant.
Good thing we've got our scripts then.
But we haven't rehearsed anything.
They don't know that.
They will once they see it.
Better think fast then. Places, everyone.
Well, wing it.
Alright, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Welcome, little molding Hamanchis, to our annual Christmas pageant. As you can see, we've had a few changes since last year, but we're glad that you could be with us here tonight. We have a special treat for you tonight. Instead of our traditional Christmas play, we have a new play for you tonight. Something produced especially for us. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Shakespeare's Lost Christmas Play.
The air bites shrewdly.
Here feel we but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference as the icy fin, and the churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shriek with cold, I smile,
When great leaves fall, winter is at hand.
Thus sometimes hath the brightest day a cloud, and after summer evermore succeeds. Fair winter with his wrathful nipping cold, sir cares joys abound as the seasons of fleet.
Now is the winter of our discontent.
What freezings I have felt, what dark days have seen, what cold December's bareness everywhere.
My belly as cold as I swallowed snowballs for pills.
This cold night would turn us all to fools and madmen.
In the winter's tedious nights, sit by the fire with good old folks, and let them tell thee tales of woeful ages long ago betide.
That is hot ice and wondrous strange snow.
The spring, the summer, the chiding autumn, the angry winter.
Blow, blow, thou winter's wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude.
How now, spirit, whether wonder you?
Fear no more the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter's rages. Thou the worldly task hast done, home art gone and taken thy wages. Golden lads and girls all must, as chimney sweepers, come to dust.
What is the matter? Keep the peace here.
I that never did weep now melt with woe, that winter should cut off our springtime so.
Prepare for mirth, for mirth becomes a feast.
She speaks holiday.
Small cheer and great welcome make a merry feast.
I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth.
I wish you all the joy that you could wish.
When sorrows come, they not as single spies, but as battalions.
Too much sadness hath congealed your blood.
That time of year thou mayst and behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do shake against the cold, fair wind choirs where late the sweet birds sing. In me thou seest the twilight of such day.
Come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy.
There is nothing in this world can make me joy.
The miserable have no other medicine but only hope.
It is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, which, by rumination, wraps me in the most humorous sadness.
I do not ask you much. I beg cold comfort.
Being holiday, the baker's shop is shut.
Doubt that the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But never doubt I love.
Fare you well, your suit is cold.
I would not wish any companion in the world but you.
Cold indeed, and labor lost, then farewell heat and welcome frost.
There's rosemary and rue that keep seeming and savor all the winter long.
At Christmas, I no more desire a rose than wishes snow in May's now fangled mirth.
A rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
A barren, detested vale, you see it is, overcome with moss and baleful
Mistletoe!
Come, woo me, for now I am in a holiday humor and like enough to consent.
I can express no kinder sign of love than this kind kiss.
Then come kiss me, sweet and plenty.
Feed everyone a fish is to make this banquet.
Show me their phones, Majesty.
Double, toil and trouble. Fire burn, and cauldron rubble. I must die for food, and let it have it.
Feed this and hunger for bread.
My eyes smell onions.
most dear actors, eat no onions, nor garlic, for we are to utter sweet break.
I'd rather live with cheese and garlic.
They call for dates and quinces in the pastry.
Do you think because you are virtuous there shall be no more cake?
Look at me well. I have eaten no meat these 5 days.
What say you to a piece of beef and mustard?
She is hot because the meat is cold.
My salad days.
Sweets to the sweet.
I have a new kettle of frog.
Now, my fairest friend, I wish I had some flowers or the spring that would become your time of day.
What is this?
So with a Burnham.
From Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and tune his merry note until the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. No enemy here shall I see but winter and rough weather.
This is our life, exempt from public life. Find tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
One touch of nature makes the whole world kin.
Put forth thy hand, reach the glorious goal.
The death, thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy noble shape is but a form of wax.
The appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony.
Old fashions please me best. I am not so nice to change true rules to odd inventions.
All that glitters is not gold.
The moon of Rome, chaste as the icicle that's curded by frost from purest snow.
When icicles hang by the wall.
The ornament to shape and love, misshape conduct of them both.
Oh, for a muse of fire, who would ascend the brightest heaven of invention.
I say there is no darkness, but ignorance.
How far the little candle throws its beams, so shines a good deed in a weary world.
Now, God be praised that to believing souls give light in darkness and comfort in despair.
Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none.
Go, draw aside the curtains and discover.
Fortune reigns and gifts of the world.
Now make your choice.
Heaven give you many, many merry days.
Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire.
He who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves.
He who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath.
It is worth the pains.
If all the years were plain holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work.
Hark,
What say you?
lawn as white as driven snow.
Whiter than new snow on a raven's back.
How sweet the moonlight sleeps on this bank.
The moon shines bright on a such night as this. When the wind might gently kiss the trees, they did make no noise.
And you, bride and bridegroom, play music to the measures heaped in joy to the measures fall. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Our revels now have ended.
What? No more ceremony?
Yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. But the weak and idle theme, no more yielding, but a dream. Gentles do not reprehend, if you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest pug, if we have unearned luck, now to escape the serpent's tongue, and we will make amends ere long. Else the pug a liar called. Good night unto you all, and give me thy hands, if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
For 2020, 6 feet apart, masked up, everything. So there's no mic, right? That's okay. So we have a couple of things. We have a raffle. Is Pete Mangum here tonight? He's right over there. Okay, so Pete Mangum always donates his pictures that he draws. There's 2 out there, and several of you, we gave you an option to get some raffle tickets because this year we're not having a table out there, and we kind of put out a thing for people to buy something for. So so we're going to draw. The first one will get a choice of the 2 pictures, and I don't know if we can bring the pictures in. So Jessica, thank you Jessica for all your help. Give Jessica a hand. New secretary in the school, and so one day she said she was a little bit bored, and I said, really? Oh, have I got a job for you? So she's been helping me a lot. She coached the dancers, and she's been over here helping us with the play a lot, and as well as her secretary duties. So thank you, Jessica. I don't know if maybe a couple, maybe you could get Jenna, maybe bring those pictures in and let us see them. Okay. And let's see, Kara, since you are the senior, you get to come and pick a name, and this name will get to choose which picture they want first. So Pete drew these. They're very nice. A winter scene, a violin. I kind of wanted that one. Yeah, so just pick and they'll get to choose, unless they're not here tonight. Chandra Conrad. Chandra Conrad. And she already has on there, she wants the winter scene. So Chandra, you got that. All right, so. Nancy Nielsen. I think she came last night, so we will send that into her. But so those are the lucky winners. Congratulations, and thank you, Pete. And so our revels are really ended this evening. We hope you enjoyed the show. so thank you for coming. And we get to excuse you in the order that you came. And so, so we will have Jessica and I think Chandra. So the last table that came is the first table that's going to be excused, right? So,
But real fast, we want to give a big thanks to Lois, so we can give her a hand.
you know, I get flowers from the kids in this. I love flowers. My husband gives me some other things. He doesn't give me. He gave me this necklace this year. Greg, years ago, he told me we got married, and then my birthday came and went. And he said happy birthday, and we went. And then another birthday came and went, and we now have, you know, we have 7 children, and so birthdays came and went. And one year I said, you know, my children need to know it's my birthday, and maybe you could know it's my birthday. He goes, really? I just wanted to get you diamond necklaces, and I couldn't afford them, so that's why I invited us. I said, you know, I wouldn't really care if you gave me some. But the other, about 3 weeks ago, he came in and he says, I have something for you. And so he got me this necklace, and it's real emerald.